Hey, third grade, we are going to be continuing practicing comparing fractions this week, as we have been doing this week, okay? So we're still comparing fractions with the same numerator and the same denominators, all right? So what I want you guys to make sure that you have while we're going over this lesson is I really want to make sure that you guys have your fraction strips. Okay, so I want you to make sure that you have your fraction strips, all right? Because you're going to need those for today and our activity that you're going to be doing, and I'm going to be using them while I am modeling solving these problems, okay? So some of these problems this is how you're going to see some of your questions asked. Not all of your questions are going to be asked just like this, but I'm just going to walk you through how to solve problems that cover comparing fractions, all right? So let me go ahead and get started. Mrs. Huffman uses half a cup of milk when she makes a chocolate cake. She uses 2/3 cup of milk when she makes a cheesecake. Okay? Half a cup and 2/3 of a cup. Here is half a cup. Here is 2/3 of a cup. The models show that, all right, so here is one picture and here's the other. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get out my fraction strips of 2/3 and 1/2. Okay, so I have my fraction strips to model 2/3 and 1/2, all right? There you go, you guys can see that just fine. Okay, and you can see that these are not equivalent fractions, okay? These are not equivalent fractions. So, they are not the same size. 2/3 and 1/2 are not the same size, all right? You can see that there. That's a little bit better. So, 1/2 does not equal 2/3, okay? This says 2/3 is greater than. Sometimes writing your words over your symbol is going to help you identify what that symbol is asking you. So 2/3 is greater than 1/2. And is that a true statement? Yes, that is a true statement. So we're going to put a check mark, all right? 1/2 is greater than 2/3. 1/2 is greater than 2/3. Is that a true statement? Good. That is not a true statement. 2/3 is less than 1/2. 2/3 is less than 1/2. Is that a true statement? No, that is not. Okay? So the correct answer here would be letter B. All right, let's look at this one. This is card number 5, but this is our second problem we're going over. Okay? Mrs. Bellwood displays this fraction chart on her classroom wall. Okay? This is really similar to your fraction strips. All right? You have your whole, your halves, your thirds, and your fourths. Which of the following number sentences is not true? I want us to be paying attention to when it says not true, okay? Not true. A lot of times, not all the time, when it says not true, they're going to make letter A a choice that is true because they're trying to trick you. Okay? Not all of the time, but some of the times. So we need to be paying attention to the word not true. You're going to look for the answer choice that has an X. Okay? So let me get my fraction strips. 1/4. And I can just fold this up to represent 1/4. is, what is this symbol? Greater. Good. So that is also greater. I'm going to go ahead and write all of my symbols, all of the words above my symbols. That is greater. What is that symbol? Awesome. Less. Good job. Okay. So 1/4 is greater than 1/2. Is that a true statement? No. Good job. 1/2 is greater than 1/3. Is that a true statement? One half is greater than 1/3. Yes, that is a true statement. 1/3 is greater than 1/4. Oops. Is that a true statement? 1/3 is greater than 1/4. Yes, that is. 1/4 is less than 1/2. Is that a true statement? One-fourth is less than 1/2. Yes, that is a true statement. Okay, so the correct answer here would be letter A. All right, you notice how I pick up each piece and I create that, I fold that fraction strip to represent whatever that fraction is. So if I wanted 1/3, I'm going to fold my fraction strip to where I can only see 1/3 there. If I wanted 2/3, that's what my fraction strip would look like. I want to see 2/3. Okay? It's really, really important that we are using our fraction strips to help us right now because we can. All right? The models below are shaded to show two fractions. Let's look at this fraction here. What is this fraction being represented in this model? Good. That fraction is 1/4. You have 4 total parts, which is your denominator, and you have 1 part shaded. What is this fraction? Good. This fraction is 1/3. Okay? Fraction is 1/3. You have 3 total parts, and you have, which is your denominator, and you have 1 part shaded, which is your numerator. Okay? Before we even take a look at our answers, I know that we're comparing these fractions. Let's write a comparison for these. 1/4 is what to 1/3? Remember, when you're comparing fractions that have the same numerator, you're going to look at your denominator to compare your fraction. The smaller denominator is going to be the greater fraction because the pieces are going to be bigger. The smaller denominator is going to be the greater fraction. So 1/4 is what to 1/3? Good. 1/4 is less than 1/3. Okay, and if I wrote this the other way, I would write 1/3 is what to 1/4? One-third is greater than 1/4. It's really important that we're able to identify the fractions or the comparison of these fractions both ways with each fraction on each side of the comparison symbol, okay? So now I just need to find the answer choice that matches. 1/4 equals 1/3. We don't have that there. 3/4 equals 2/3. Where did they get 3/4 from? Good, they got 3/4 from the parts that are unshaded. They got 2/3 from the parts that are unshaded. 1/4 is greater than 1/3. Is that what we have here? Good, that is not what we have here. Or 1/4 is less than 1/3. Yes, that's what we have right there. So it's really important that we are able to see the fractions being compared both ways, all right? Now, I want to just look at these, okay? I'm going to take away the symbols or the pictures. All right, all I have are two fractions, 4/6 and 4/8. What is the same in both of these fractions? What part of my fraction is the same here? Good. Both of my numerators are a 4. When your numerators are the same, you are going to use your denominator to help you compare your fractions. The smaller denominator is going to be your larger fraction because the pieces or parts are larger. And if you're not sure, you also have your fraction strips that you can be using, okay? So if you're not sure, get out your fraction strips and build this model. I'm going to build 4/6 and I'm going to build 4/8. But before I do that, I'm going to compare them without using my fraction strips to see what we remember. So the smaller denominator is going to be your larger fraction. So 4/6 is greater than 4/8. And let's see if that's true. Is 4/6 more than 4/8? It sure is. All right, let's do one more. Okay, 2/3. Let's do one with different denominators. 7/8 and 3/8. Okay, the same denominator on both fractions. When your denominators are the same, you're going to use your numerator to help you compare your fractions. The larger numerator is going to be your larger fraction. The larger numerator, 7/8, is going to be greater than 3/8. This is 3/8. That is 7/8. Okay, this whole thing is 7/8, and just that part is 3/8. You can tell that 7/8 is more than 3/8. Okay? All right. If you guys are still needing help, it's really, 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 really important that we're hopping on office hours and asking questions, okay? Office hours are from 1:40 to 2:30. Or sorry, 2:40. Sorry. Office hours are 2:40 to 3:30, okay? So please, please, please get on and ask questions if you're still needing help, all right? Have a great day.